Let's talk about the 13th Amendment and why it is troublesome in today's political climate. So, as we all learned in school, the 13th Amendment was the amendment that abolished slavery. But one thing that isn't talked about a lot is the fact that it did not completely abolish slavery. So, here's what the 13th Amendment says. The 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution, ratified in 1865, abolished slavery and involuntary servitude throughout the United States, with the exception of a punishment for a crime. With the exception for a punishment of a crime. So this is what is prison labor. Remember the old movies of them out on a chain gang, busting rocks, that kind of stuff? That's what that part of the amendment allows. Now let's take a look how it could possibly be applied in today's political climate. So already down in Florida, Ron DeSantis, the governor, has talked about taking people from that concentration camp they built there and loaning them out to agricultural industry in Florida, in construction industry in Florida, because of their draconian immigration laws that they've implemented. They're having a hard time performing those jobs. Boom, you build yourself a prison camp, you fill it with migrants, and you have free labor. And notice that ICE isn't going after the worst of the worst, the criminals. They're going to people's job sites. They're going to farms. They're picking up people who are working already for sub-minimum wage in most cases, and they're locking them up. And now they're talking about lending those people out to do the same work some of them have been doing, except this time instead of getting paid, they're going to do it as punishment. But we can even take this further. Take this to the big, beautiful bill. They're cutting Medicaid and they're cutting food stamps. Desperate people do desperate things, which sometimes means committing crimes, which means it's going to fill up our prisons more labor force. The Department of Education being gutted. Uneducated people don't have as many opportunities. Some turn to crime. They get arrested. More labor for the capitalists. This is a horrible, horrible thing that we don't talk about enough, and we need to. We need to amend the 13th Amendment because this isn't right, and the motivations for people to abuse it is too great, especially living in this late capitalist dystopia.